We all make bad choices, but how often do our bad choices cause us to endanger ourselves and everyone around us? Texting while behind the wheel of a car may not seem like it's that fatal of a decision, but according to the Students Against Destructive Decisions, texting while behind the wheel is just as dangerous as drinking and driving. In a world that is streamlined by technology, the pressure is all around us to look at our phones even while we're behind the wheel and we know it's not safe. However, staying focused on the road can save a life. As a young adult in the 21st century with a car and a cell phone, I know firsthand how urgent it is to read and reply to text while I'm driving. However, I'm informed of the risk and I choose not to. While reading and replying to a message may seem alluring to a driver, it is dangerous for someone to give their attention to their phone because it decreases your ability to react in case of emergencies. It disobeys God, and it may seem like you can multitask, but there are various ways, other ways that you can text and not endanger others. Throughout the next minutes that follow, I will discuss how texting while driving can decrease your ability to react. Then I'll talk about how many lives have been lost because of texting behind the wheel and how you can save a life. And to close, I will discuss what God calls us to do about the situation, which is to keep our brother from harm's way. Now, let's start. Looking down at your cell phone to read a message just for a few seconds could cause you to get into an accident. According to Bethany Lewis, a University of Utah study found that young people who use cell phones while driving reacted to brake lights in front of them as slow as the 70-year-old. With a slowed reaction time, any number of different kinds of accidents and collisions can be caused from hitting a person's rear or hitting a person straight on. According to Rep. Rex Descorder, there is no safe way that you can text and drive, but you cannot take your eyes off of the highway and look down for even several seconds. A lot of people think they can until they have an accident. There's just no safe way to drive without having your eyes on the road. Even though you may think you're a good multitasker, studies have shown that even a person who can multitask cannot give their full attention to both the road and their cell phones. This brings me to my second point. God commands us not to text and drive. Obviously, the Bible does not specifically come out and say you cannot text and drive. However, there are verses that advise you to keep yourself out of harm's way. Proverbs 23 says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." Texting and driving is dangerous. As a Christian, when we see something that we know is dangerous or can harm someone else, we should be wise and use discernment and turn from it. Another verse that commands us not to text is Romans 13:4, which says, "Leaders are God's servants to help you. If you do wrong, you should be afraid. They have the power to punish you. They work for God. They do what God wants done, and to who do wrong. They do wrong to who does wrong." Since God has appointed our government officials, we are commanded by Him to follow the laws that they make that keep us safe, like not texting or answering emails behind the wheel. Now on to my third point. There are many ways that you can still communicate with people while you're driving without putting others in harm's way. One of the major ways to stop getting distracted by your phone while you're driving is to install apps on your phone that were created to help you text. App developers have stepped up to the plate to help end texting and driving. They've created phones that sense when you're driving, and they wait to alert you that you're receiving a call or text. And they also reply to the person and tell them that you can't text right now because you're driving. Another way that technology has helped with decreasing texting and driving and the accidents that are caused by them is by hands-free texting, like Bluetooth capabilities that are installed in your car's radio. Now I will conclude. As shown by this information, texting and driving is a serious problem facing many drivers in the 21st century. Glancing down at your phone, even for a second, when it rings, may seem like it's something you can handle, but the next time your phone buzzes, remember how dangerous it is to take your gaze away from the road, even for a few seconds. Also, it's considered disobeying God when you text and drive behind the wheel, because it is a law in most states for you not to text and drive or answer your phone. Lastly, there are many ways that you can curb your urge to text and drive behind the wheel by apps and other technologies. So the next time that you hear your phone ring, consider it a reminder of a life that you have saved, because you stayed focused on the road in front of you. Thank you.